Jay here with the Sooner or Later Sports Show. We've got a special watch party to see Nigel Smith make his decision. We're going to hope that decision is a Sooner. I anticipate it is. We've seen everything drop. So I brought the cavalry with me today. We're just going to all just jump in here. Y'all know the crew. We've got Coop. We've got PG. And we've got Jason from Hall of Fame. Gentlemen, what's going on?
What's going down? Obviously, this is one we've been waiting on, and I was listening today, Sports Animal, and it's such a big deal that like they brought up Nigel Smith, and granted, Sports Animal's not recruiting 101, but it was pretty funny because they were like, I don't trade with, I don't know anything about this guy, and that didn't blow my mind as much as like just the situation. Jason and I interviewed him a while back, and the guy was just a straightforward, like diplomatic guy. I mean, so he's one of my favorites in the class. Like he's bigger than anybody at Elite Summit and anything like that. I love Nigel, so I'm totally excited.
I can't believe you listen to those Yardbirds over there.
That's funny.
No, I'm ready to watch Nigel Smith commit to Texas A&M out of the blue. Let's just put it out there.
What?
People die for less.
Listen, Texas A&M is in there, and as an OU fan, you could never.
Somebody hit this man. Somebody hit him over the head with something. What up, Bishop? What's going on? Appreciate you pulling up as usual to the spot. What up, Kim? You know we've got to say hi. Monty, what it do? What it do? What it do? You always what it do in the house. Oh. I just see I'm seeing Trap House everywhere. That means Trap House is in the spot. What up, Trap House? Trap House in the house. What it do, kinfolk? What it do? Everybody. Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to have the commitment on the screen. We're going to watch it together. It's going to happen in about 10 minutes. So we're early. We're here to kick it, chop it up. We're going to talk Nigel. We're going to talk the commitment. We'll do all that jazz or whatnot. So hop in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. Y'all feel like it's a lock? Y'all know we feel like it's a lock because we're only doing this for those really, really, really locks right now. Now, at some point, we may actually do some for players that we're on the fence with. But as of right now, I'm only doing these lives on a Friday night when I know that I got a chance of not embarrassing myself because I don't need y'all seeing me cry on here. So let's go around the circle though real quick. Jason, let the people know where to find you and say what's up because we've got almost 400 people in the room now.
What's up? 400, man. That's sweet. Hey, just you know how to find me, man. And it's right at CFB-pod, HOFmedia.us, JW_HOF on Twitter. And I'm always here on YouTube with you guys. So I mean, if you don't know where to find me, just go check out Jay's show and I'll be there.
Exactly. PG, let the people know.
Yeah, y'all can find me on YouTube. I'm sure y'all have seen my stuff, and 68% of you that watched this probably aren't subscribed to me. So y'all make sure you can go over there and hit that subscribe button. Yes, I'm going to pull out the stats because 68% of the people watching my videos aren't subscribed. So
that's kind of
that's impressive, man. You actually was able to do that off the top of your head.
I was just that's why.
I like.
Yeah, that's a good point. Troy, that's a good question. Of course, y'all know Coop. Coop's a regular here. He's part of the Unfair Sports family. We're getting him ramped up. We've got some videos I've edited for him. I'm going to drop for the members only to start so that he can get his bearings going on his solo content. We're going to get Coop going. But, Troy, you asked this question. Who's playing tonight? I'm watching Indiana State right now on my TV, and then I'm going to go to the Kansas-Illinois game. That's really the only two games. Actually, I got multi-view available, so I'm going to go and put both of them up here on YouTube TV. So if you haven't checked out YouTube TV, hey, Hank, let the people know, damn it. Wipe your feet before you come in here.
That's right.
Hit that like button.
Wipe your feet.
Okay, there you go. Sometimes you got to refresh. The refresher for y'all is wipe your feet equals hit the like, right? Hit the like, share it with somebody. Post it on your damn Facebook. I don't care. Just get somebody to like that mother.
Yeah, exactly. Like, subscribe, rate, review. If you listen to the podcast version, give us all 5 stars. I don't think we deserve it. Just give us 5 anyway and gift it. Why not?
I think.
Yeah, tell them, Hank. Wipe your feet.
I think what we need to do is We just need to all go down to Norman and sit at Walmart, and then everybody walks in. Instead of offering them Girl Scout cookies or popcorn, we take their phone, we Google all the shows, and we hit like, and then we just say, about your business.
Right. And Neo, you're 100% correct. You probably did just get that video. I finally got it done editing. I put it up, and we're listening to what JD Piquel said. So for those that haven't watched the video, go watch the video, and then we can talk about it in the comments there. I don't want to spoil it, but Neo understands. JD Piquel decided to talk about who he thinks is going to be on upset watch this weekend. I'm just going to give y'all a little hint that the Sooners is on his list. So yeah,
not a bad pick.
Oh, JD Pickle.
Yeah, I love JD. I love him to death. He's one of my favorite guys on the national side that does content. I love his presentation skills. But
It's good.
when I tell you the percentage he gave that it will happen, and when you hear the percentage, you won't be as upset. But at the same time, just the fact that we're in that conversation. But I do understand because SMU offensively is a team that can be a threat. I want to know if they can block us, is what I'm trying to figure out. And that's where our defense has to prove themselves.
Listen, Piquel and all the other guys who are picking OU on upset alert, they're throwing out like 30% chance and shit like that. Like, I'll just say this. These are national guys who've maybe looked at a box score, maybe looked about 3 or 4 games, because there's no way you're watching everything. So, you know, it's all right. Brent's already told the team that they're probably going to lose if they don't have their game on, and that's good enough. You know, you heard my score. I'm calling an epic old school Texas type of beatdown, like a 63-10. Like I just don't. I think that. Have you guys? I mean, did you guys go back and rewatch the game and watch how fast we were going that first drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the big takeaways I had in that game. They started out with high tempo, and then they were able to really slow it down and kind of pull back, which is really not something you were able to see last year with Levy.
Yeah.
No. And Dylan played in the system, so we all thought, all right, cool. You know, plug and play, let's roll. Dylan also came off of half a year off of football. It was complete new to everybody around him. Man, SMU, bless their heart, and maybe it's close at the end of the first quarter, but and by close I mean like 21-0.
Yeah, so we have, of course, Steven was what it do, Stevie. He's got the question. Give him score predictions. PG, I know you got a video that you dropped, but go ahead. What's your score prediction for this game?
Yeah, it's going to be 45-14. Y'all will see that at some point tonight on YouTube. So here's kind of what I'll give you guys the gist of the video, right? I said Oklahoma, they held an Arkansas State team who's I think is going to be pretty good with the run this year to 48 yards. But, I mean, Arkansas State, they're a lower echelon Division I team. So if you can go in and hold SMU to 100 yards or less on the rushing attack, hold them to 250 yards or less on the passing side, and only give up either 2 touchdowns or a touchdown and a field goal, you feel really good about that performance. Now, if OU walks out of this game completely shellacking SMU with a donut, then we need to revisit maybe Oklahoma being undefeated by the end of the season, because SMU is, they're one of the better non-Power 5 teams, and to be honest, they're better than some Power 5 teams out there. So
it's a fair point. We're sitting at 613 people watching with 133 likes. People, wipe your feet before you walk into our home. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Right. Join the family.
134 likes. Come on, man. It's like 1/5.
Exactly. We're getting a small amount, and that number's climbing. We're getting a lot of people added to here. Jason, what's your score prediction? And I'll wrap things up with mine.
I remember being on your show about a month ago, maybe, and roughly. We talked about them. Some were keeping the 3 non-con opponents under 30. So 50-10.
Woo! 10. Okay. It's funny, Jason, because you're about where I was at. I had 2 predictions out of it. I said if Oklahoma can do what I asked them to do, which is to shut out the first 3 opponents, I'm going 42-0. But I anticipate it being closer to 50-10 in this game. And like you said, I anticipate us doing better than we did last year and holding our opponents to a combined less than 30 points in the first 3 games. So that's a 10-point average. That's what we did last season. I anticipate us doing better than that. I anticipate for the first 5 games, we're going to hold our opponents at a combined 50 points for the first 5 games. If we do that, and that's 10 points,
that's
my God.
Yeah.
But you want to know what's crazy? Everybody is so hyped up about Preston Stone, and I get it because, it's one of the highest rated recruits SMU's ever had. But he only threw 62% last week, and I get it was in his first start. But I mean, the Oklahoma secondary. I mean, I feel like they should go eat this weekend. I mean, I don't feel like Preston Stone's going to light us up.
Oh, I agree. I don't see that. I don't see a light up happening at all. I do think that he's going to have. The question is how much time he's going to have, because I was listening to Teddy and Gabe, and they were talking about those 2 bookend tackles. They're both roughly about 6'7", 6'6", 6'8"-ish. They're over 300 pounds, and they're ginormous human beings. But the question is, how athletic are they? And I don't think they are. So if you put PJ out there and R. Mason Thomas, who's back, RMT, you put them on them edges, and you let them go past them, as long as we got contained held, Preston's going to have a lot of problems. And they're not going to go into max protect because they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to. And I think those tackles are too slow to handle the talent that we have at the edge, especially the young boys.
So who's your starting linebacker this week? You're going to have Stutzman. You're going to have...
It's got to be Stutzman and
Canick, and then who's going to play Cheetah? McCullough, or are you going to have...
I'm going to keep Harrington in. I'm going to keep Harrington.
Harrington with Bowen is going to be the backup.
Right.
Because is Dasan, is he looking like he's going to be back, or is it, I mean...
I think he'd be back. We haven't heard an exact... Poop Fest, appreciate the $20 as usual. We don't know who... we don't know who... What, is he up yet? He ain't up yet. I'm looking at his Instagram now. Nothing's popped up. So 7:25 is what we're waiting on. Anyway... Adam Bessage now, Poop Fest. I'll look for it and we can add you up here. But so far, I'm expecting McCullough to play, but we haven't had an update on the injury report. But don't be shocked if they rest him.
This is
Patchy, you're right.
This is not a game where you should have to play a Drake Stoops or a McCullough. Like, they should get to sit out probably this game and at least Tulsa to be able to get healthy.
Bro.
You really need them for that Texas game. You might not even really need them for Cincinnati.
No, you need them for Cincinnati. You need them for Cincinnati. You're going to need them for Cincinnati.
Here's the thing, though. I need to see Cincinnati in week 2 and in week 3 really perform the same way, because they looked scary last week. And I think, like I've said, Cincinnati could be that game where Oklahoma gets upset, just because it feels like that'll be an 11 o'clock game, road game. Oklahoma's going to be feeling high. It has the making for an upset, but Cincinnati needs to show more to be able to replicate that success that they had last week against Elon of all teams.
I mean, you got a fair point, Jason. I mean, looking at Cincinnati, we'll talk about them right now. And we got that topic started. I watched a little bit of Emory. He didn't look bad. He looked like he was comfortable. So I'm curious, what do you think about? I mean, I think that's the game you got to have McCullough in, because I think Emory is a little too fast to not have options at the Cheetah.
No, I agree. I think that all 3 of these non-conference games are set up for OU to kind of do their thing and get some looks at some folks that, whether or not they're going to be a major part of the rotation or whatever, right, on the defensive side. I think you want to make sure that your guys that you need, get them ready for conference, because this is where it matters. You want to go through and be – look, with all the BS that's been going on with Brett Yormark and this freaking conference lately, and I love it how I do think it's sweet of them, by the way, though, to use OU in Texas in their rah-rah posts and stuff like that, about being in the top 25 and stuff, when nobody else is, except for K-State. But
you know who to pick, you know who to use.
Gotta make sure that these guys are. That Oklahoma for sure, I don't know that UT is going to do it, but Oklahoma needs to make sure they win this thing on the way out. They need to be in that game, winning this thing on the way out. Make sure they're ready for that. That's what's important to me. I want to see Dasan McCullough out there as much as the next guy, but I think that you're going to see a lot of vanilla stuff anyway, and a lot of I really feel like these first 3 games, you're just trying to get a gauge on on what you're going to get out of some of these guys in your base sets and where's the best place for them. They're looking for reasons to put the freshmen in too, I think. You know what I mean? And getting them ready to be able to go in and play a lot more. Because I think once you get, I mean, you hear everybody talking about this, but I remember Parker saying something about this a couple months ago that when Peyton Bowen gets in the game, you're probably not getting him out after that anymore, right? You know, so because he's just that good. He just gets it. And then with PJ, if he figures it out, good grief. You know, I feel like once you get these guys in the game and get them some time, I think that's the main thing. And that's all I'm looking to see. You know, I mean, when these guys, I guess SMU is probably the best out of the 3 non-con games. We knew coming in after the Georgia, you know, taking them off the schedule, that it was going to be kind of one of those, you just want to take incremental steps. But the word of the day for me is vanilla anyways. It's going to be vanilla until you get to that first.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Coop, talk to me. You give us what you're thinking about the Cincinnati game.
I mean, Emory Jones, just like Richardson, who he sat behind, is absolutely one of those guys who can look like an absolute stud, or he can make some of those boneheaded mistakes, anybody on the field. Cincinnati, is it Satterfield? He got essentially nobody really cared for him at Louisville, and he has moved over. They lost a ton of talent, and guys, I mean, you just look at the Vegas number, and that's what you need. I mean, Cincinnati has the ability to put up some points. I don't think that outside of a couple players on their defensive line, that they don't have the depth that they've had over the past couple of years. And I'm just saying, if the Oklahoma team is what we think it is, and after the first and kind of what we did going into last year, you've got the more competitive, and so you've got playmakers coming behind playmakers. And so, yes, it is the same Emory Jones. He was at Florida for a long ass time. And so, but yeah, you've got playmakers beyond. And again, Jason, I kind of agree with what you say is the moment that it really clicks for like a PJ Adebawore and that Peyton makes something. You saw Peyton and McCullough on the field at the same time last week. And so also don't, the depth chart is whatever. I mean, that's a document that, appeases people. But Brett and that defensive crew, they don't mind throwing out Deshaun, Peyton, Harrington, maybe all on the field at the same time and just rotating because who's what? Do you want Pearson coming up on the line? Do you want Bowen doing whatever he wants to do? Do you want Harrington, who, again, everybody said best player on the defensive side of the ball during the summer? So Cincinnati, I think we go up there. I think we thump it pretty well. And I'm more worried about Cincinnati than originally just because Emory Jones did kind of pop. But again, it's if someone keeps on telling you who they are, believe them. And inconsistent is who he is.
No, you're 100% right on that one. And so Seth asked this question real quick. How do you get one of the BB shirts that I make? I made these shirts. In the description, you'll see the link to my merchandise. Go pick one up, frozentees.com. It's all in the description below. So, get on that.
These Kansas uniforms are
$885 in there now, man. $885.
We only got 267 likes. What we doing, folks? Hit that like button. Wipe your feet.
Still at only 1/4.
Wipe your feet, baby. And we're almost there. It's almost time. We'll hit 1,000 before he goes. I'm refreshing the screen. I'm literally refreshing the IG as we speak, and we're just waiting for it to show up. And the minute we see it go live, I'm going to add the scene, and we're going to watch as a family Nigel make his decision.
Hey, and Jay, Poop Feast question was what our thoughts about Texas was. If you can dig that up, because got my heart racing a little bit. I'm ready to answer that question.
Oh, okay. Let me jump on there. Here's a question. $20. Here's $20 question right here on the screen for everybody. So my question is, for $20, how about that Texas OU game? Sure, we won last year, but it's going to be a battle. Our offense is sketchy, but our defense looks great. What do you think? So I'll lead us off. I agree. I think that your defense is good. Like I'm sold on the Texas defense right now. I'm not sold on your offensive line, and I think our defensive line's a little bit better than your offensive line. So especially the interior, your tackles, I think you're good, but I think our edges are a little bit faster. But your interior is my concern. The good thing for Oklahoma is I like our line. I think our offensive line is as good as our 2018 Joe Moore line, if not close to being better. It's really good in my opinion. And so, since that's my thoughts on it, I'm pretty high on what we're doing right now, and so I think it's going to be a game. I can't pick a winner right now because I need to see both of us when y'all play Bama and when we get to y'all. When I get past the 5 games, then I'll have a actual decision. But right now, I would probably give Texas a slight lean, but I got to see everybody over the 5 games. Jason, what you think?
I think we're going to find out a lot tomorrow. How do they handle being in big games? We've talked about this a lot. We were talking about this on my show last night. Wait,
Guys,
what?
Nigel Smith.
He committed already. It never popped up.
Are you serious?
Yes, he dropped. I don't know if Hayes did that on accident, but he just dropped the graphic.
No, yeah.
you
McQuistion just said you were right. So
Are you serious? He didn't go on Instagram Live? I'm literally refreshing the live. Like, all right, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm not even going to lie. Look at this. I'm going to show y'all what I'm looking at. This is what I'm literally looking at. I'm on his Instagram. He said he was going to go on IG. Like, there's nothing here. He did us dirty, y'all. Oh, man, but I still love this man.
Hey,
that's all right.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw.
I told you earlier in the season
like,
we did that short on it. My favorite recruit.
There you go. Nigel went ahead and committed to Oklahoma. I'm going to switch.
Boomer, let's
tabs.
go.
There you go. Boomer Sooner. We landed him. I thought he was going to pop it up here on the screen for us. He did not.
I still just see Jason. We're not seeing your screen, brother.
Oh, my bad. Let me switch it. My bad. Let me transition.
little-
There y'all go. There it is. He is a Sooner, baby. He's a Sooner. Here you go. That's the big screen. Here's the big graphic. We got Nigel Smith. He's landed. We've got the 4-star phenom that cannot believe that he is really this like anti-diva. Like he dropped a graphic and didn't even we're just gonna drop this graphic and we're just gonna be good. Let me go ahead and give y'all a gift because I've already put up his film. I'm gonna play some of his game film. If everybody wants to see it, I'm gonna drop some game film for y'all right now so y'all can enjoy the views of Nigel Smith and watch the way that he plays. But I'm impressed that PG, how you feeling about Nigel picking Oklahoma?
Hey, you know what? We said it earlier in the recruiting cycle, but Nigel Smith was one of those prospects that, you thought could really help anchor down this defensive line. We talked about the 5-star recruits and David Stone, and we talked about Williams Winery, but Nigel Smith was one of these guys that you watched, and although he fell off during the offseason, I'd expect him to continue to rise back up in these rankings. So I really like Nigel Smith. It's going to be curious, though, to see, is he going to be used as a defensive end, or is he going to play a little bit on the interior? Because I think he could probably do both for you.
I think that's the best thing about him, isn't it? It's like that he is absolutely, and he talked about it on the show whenever he was there with me and Coop and Coach, is that, hey, that's the biggest thing for me is that he likes being that guy that they can move in and out of there. He thinks that has helped more than anything else is just his ability to be flexible and contribute in a lot of ways. And I'm excited about that. I think that he's explosive as this guy is. And when you've got a guy like Jaden Jackson, you've got a guy like, Ashton Champ Sanders, some of these other guys that can fill in that middle side. And if you can get that explosion on that edge and that speed, put him where you need to, man. This is hey, competitive depth. Let's drink to it. You just added some more competitive depth.
Yes. And Jay, that a lot of that was a response to old Galactic Sooner in here in the chat. So
oh no, totally understood.
Common offender over here. So
yeah, we see Galactic on a regular basis too. As the homie, I mean, you say that he's not a 5-star right now. Dude's going to move up. He's top 100 in the country.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
he's a
Watch.
talent.
Yeah.
After this season, the problem for him at moving into the 5-star status is he doesn't go to camps. He doesn't really do any of that stuff.
Yeah. And have you
Um,
seen what he's done already this season? Just in the in limited time. I mean, he's played one game, but I mean, it was
yeah,
It's
he's
so when we did the interview with him, we said, "Who do you try to mimic your game after?" He says, "Miles Garrett, not David Garrett. That's an attorney. Miles Garrett." So you've got. I mean, so what is he? 6'4", 264, based off of the most up to date recruiting deals. He's going to be. He thinks that he's got the athleticism. He can be a humongous, outside linebacker. He's going to be an edge, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to play on the outside. But when you get these, guys where you can slide these. I mean, who was it? They were playing Aiden Hutchinson on the inside last night in the Chiefs and Lions game, and
Yes.
that's what dominant defensive linemen do nowadays. I mean, unless you are you're a 350, 360 pound guy or something like that. But if you are anywhere in that 275 to 310 range, yeah, it's you've got so many opportunities. So you line him up now with PJ Adebawore, Grayson Halton, R. Mason Thomas, David Stone, Wyatt Gilmore. I truly believe Danny is right around the corner also. And then, hell, if you can get somebody to rethink their decision, bro, you walk into a lot of first-time quarterbacks next year with defensive talent that is, I mean, not in my lifetime have we had this type of defensive talent on the defensive line.
Don't worry. I've already texted JJA and said, hey, when are you flipping? So.
That's hilarious.
Hey,
That is hilarious.
Hey, he was the one that said, imagine a defensive line of David Stone, Nigel Smith, and himself. So.
Yeah, and Jason, thank you for putting that in the chat. Watch this dude play basketball. His dad played at SMU.
bro.
So you're saying Porter Moser could have himself a recruit?
He doesn't need to run. I mean, this dude got his elbows on the rim with one step. Boom.
Yeah. And so the next one I think on the list, if we're gonna go up, is let me see. This was put in here by Topher. He asked earlier, it's gonna be Okoye. I think we can win.
Okoye is going to Tennessee.
Man, I think we can win them. Now, I do know Tennessee's lurking, and I've actually hit up somebody with Tennessee, and they think they do have a chance. It's tough. I'm just gonna say that they're providing a package that looks good to try to bring him to Knoxville because, I mean, granted, Alabama wanted him bad. Correction, Alabama wants him bad. I've heard Nick Saban was having conversations with Okoye. And remember, he was the MVP at their camp. That's all you need.
Yeah,
You're an MVP at a Nick Saban camp? Yeah, you're somebody special.
If you're Oklahoma, though, I think the thing that helps you in the recruitment versus Tennessee for Okoye is Tennessee's already got a 5-star top 15 player in the country in Jordan Ross at the edge position already committed. So, yeah, you could take 2 guys there. But, I mean, why would you not come to Oklahoma where you don't have a 5-star at this position and potentially it's a little bit easier path to playing time right there. So,
no, that's a good point. And then if you add in, you add this with Okoye, if we can land him, throwing in Nigel Smith, Wyatt Gilmore, which I cannot wait to watch his highlights from this season. I bet they're going to be stupid.
If they
Jay Jackson.
And if they don't land Williams Nwaneri or Dominic McKinley, which I just think is very unlikely they don't get one of those two, but let's say they don't flip either one of them, they're going to go after another 4-star defensive lineman. They're going to go after somebody else because I think they were just banking on and getting that 5-star talent. So I would look at who's that? Is it Udu that's committed to Stanford? I've heard a lot of hype around him.
Benedict.
Yes, Benedict Udu or however you say his last name. I think that's one you got to watch out for if Williams Nwaneri or Dominic McKinley look out of reach.
And
Yeah.
again, I would still say that, like what Jay was saying a minute ago, this isn't a guy that spends a lot of time at camps. He goes and hangs around with guys like Aaron Donald and stuff like that instead.
Yeah.
I mean, but he is a 5-star talent. That's the whole point. If you look at this, I mean, the measurables are there, the explosion, the strength, the size, all of that is there for him. And again, we know that these recruiting rankings are not, the end all be all to everything. I know it looks great on paper and all that other stuff, but look, it's not the only thing there. He's a top 100 guy. We know that. And he's done that without being at every camp every time one opens up. So, just watch the film. Tell me this guy isn't going to make a big impact on this football team moving forward. And I mean, he was talking to us too. What was it? He was also saying that he felt like Rondell Bothroyd was probably one of the guys that he felt like he was going to be similar to with the OU.
Yeah. At OU. Yeah.
Talking about,
Hey,
and I mean, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Can
And this
I
video
pause?
right. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I'm going to derail this whole thing real quick. This goes out to my friend Chelsea Spears, driving up to the game, high school graduate friend. Hey guys, you can't recruit to Oklahoma. You can't recruit to Oklahoma. That's why you need to leave for a mecca of college football. It took 2 years for Brent Venables and his staff to say, no, you can't coach to Oklahoma, Mr. Riley.
Yeah,
And recruit to him. Yeah, and recruit to him. Exactly.
He couldn't.
And listen, Lincoln Riley loses Stone. He's gone. That ain't happening. Jaden Jackson, that ain't happening. Right? Michael Patterson McDonald, that ain't happening. PJ Adebaware, probably not happening. Now, don't give me Gabe Dindy was, listen, this is, and if you look on, Caden Durham just said, do you commit to the program or to the coach? Just now. Okay, so, guys, that's not done either. If LSU looks like that again, that's not done. So,
Shoot, if I'm Caden Durham, though, I go to LSU because look at how bad they need a running back, and they need an elite running back, and I think Caden Durham could be that guy for them.
Could. My aunt could be my uncle if she had one extra appendage.
No, I mean,
That's
to
hilarious.
Caden Durham's question, though, I really think it depends on the player, right? I think your preferred walk-ons, probably your lower-tier 3-star guys, you probably see them commit more to the program. But your 5-star guys, they're committing more to the coach that's going to develop them, put them in the league. That's kind of how I feel the recruiting scene kind of goes a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously, with guys like Sammy Brown, Peyton Pierce, Brent Venables is one of the top linebacker coaches, out there, right? And they went somewhere else. So it's not going to work out every time. I'm just going to say this is I watched last year's class. I watched them hold together the previous year, and I'm watching this year, and it just I laugh. I just absolutely laugh because Oklahoma is about to have worst case scenario top 50 defense this year. They're going to step it up more next year, and then it's going to continue up on an upward trend. And that fool is still playing the same game out west. And so watch it. I mean, we all said that dude's probably going to – Arizona's going to tank. They're going to trade away Kyler. They're going to go hire Lincoln, and they're going to draft Caleb.
Yeah.
Wow. Go figure.
By the way,
If only the Cardinals were ever that smart to do such a thing.
well, I mean, they're sitting Kyler Murray. They're not playing him right now. So
No, and then they traded their only functional quarterback who could – again, Colt McCoy. All right, so this poop feast, this is for you. I'm going to talk good about Texas. Colt McCoy is a serviceable backup. He is not going to lose you games. Now, he is not an all pro, and he's never going to be that. But the moment that they got rid of him, and who is it? Josh Dobbs. Joshua Dobbs. Yeah. From Tennessee, right? So,
Yep.
Again, let's get back to this. It's we are very, very, very close to being over that the Lincoln Riley scenario. But guys, this is David Stone, Nigel Smith, Wyatt Gilmore, Jaden Jackson. We have so much defensive line help coming, and probably more coming. I have a very, very distinct feeling that Okoye is coming to Oklahoma. He'll be on campus again this week. So it's
we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Like seeing.
I'll put 5 on it, PG.
Yeah, we can talk about it after. We can talk about it in the green room.
Yeah, talk about that in the green room. Let's take a look at. Hold a second.
By the way, I just want to talk about how
good
Kansas looks, because Kansas is out here straight up mossing this Illinois defense. I am loving me some Jalen Daniels. I am so glad he's back.
Check out wide receiver Ivan Carrion real quick. See if it populates for us. Good man. Look how huge he is. Look how big of a human being he is. That's what Emmett Jones likes to do. Players like that. That's an Emmett Jones recruit. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but that's a player that Emmett Jones recruits.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, he didn't have to jump. He high-pointed it by not leaving his feet.
Dude's a giant. Uh-oh. Coop, did we lose you? Did I lose y'all?
Coop said he's got to bounce.
Coop out. But yeah, it's Ivan Carrion. They may not have to jump. Just the talent. So, all right. Well, I think we're at that point. We Patchy, thank you for the $2. We appreciate that. You are correct. Monster season coming for the defense. So keep your eyes open. We got like 500 people in here. Only 300 likes. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We're going to wrap this up. Let everybody have their evening. 37 minutes in. Nigel Smith is a Sooner. Boomer Sooner, baby. Make sure y'all check out everybody's channel. Jason over at Hall of Fame. College Football Podcast, as well as the PG Show with our boy PG. Pull up, enjoy them. And, of course, me, Jay, with Unfair Sports. Me and Coop will be doing our things on Sunday. So holla at us. We'll chop it up after the Sooner game win against SMU Saturday night.
See you guys tomorrow.
Peace.